Can't think of a better teacher than one of our elite partners who's held the title of top coach 4 times. Please learn from the expertise of the one and only Melanie Mitro.
All right, where is my husband, Matt Mitro? Where is he? Okay, it's his birthday, so can we say happy birthday? Woo! Some of you know Matt because he's organized a golf trip on a BODi event and you've gone. You may also have grabbed a drink at the pool or at the bar. He is definitely a BODi husband. He is super supportive and he's been with me every single step of the way. Almost. When I first said to Matt, hey, I'm gonna sign up to be a BODi partner, he actually looked at me and said, are you kidding me? Those businesses are a scam. They're a ripoff. It's a pyramid scheme. Nobody's actually successful in those businesses. And if you wanna get a job, we'll put the kids in daycare and you can get a real job. And most women, to hear those words from the person that they love and trust the most would be crushed. But not me, because I am determined. And I said to myself, I will prove you wrong. And so I got to work in the pockets of mom life with 2 kids under the age of 3. I started to build this business in the early mornings, in the afternoons, during their nap time, in the evenings, and the weekends. And we kind of joked that I was like the human wrecking ball building my business. My only focus was the next group I was gonna run or the next post I was gonna do, and the dishes were piling up in the sink, and the laundry needed folded, and the house was a mess, and there was definitely tension building in our house. And one day Matt sat me down and said, Melanie, we can't go on like this. It's either the business or us. And immediately I said, I quit, I will quit my business if it comes down to that decision, but inside I didn't want to. And after a very heated discussion, Matt looked at me and said, Melanie, I know that you love this business, but what we're doing isn't working. And so we worked together to create some changes. I started to get a schedule and set some better boundaries, and Matt said, I'll help you out with the dishes, and we'll work on together on the bedtime routine for the boys. And it wasn't easy, but as a result of our willingness to embrace the discomfort that this change brought about in our lives, 8 years ago, Matt walked into his corporate job and handed in his letter of resignation. He came home to work the business alongside of me, to raise our boys, to be able to take Bryce to preschool and kindergarten and do daddy B-man play dates and go miniature golfing and have lunch together. We've got to travel way more than if he had only 2 weeks of vacation. He's coached the boys in sports, and as a result, we've gotten to experience life in a completely different way. And over the past 12 years, I think about all the changes that I've endured, from starting a business while on my fitness journey to having, 2 kids at home under the age of 3, to my business exploding and having to come up with new systems to support the amount of customers that I had. And just when I had a handle on that, I had a wave of leaders that decided that coaching wasn't for them anymore. And so I had to renovate my business again. And just when we get the hang of that, we're changing our name. We're from Team Beachbody to BODi, from coach to partner. Even the way that we market. Used to do fit clubs and shake and share events. And then we went to Facebook and Instagram, and now we have TikTok and Reels. You get what I'm saying, right? Change is inevitable. Even you, right now, you're going through changes in your life. Maybe it's your health and the type of workouts you can do, or the nutrition you're following, or the way that you're showing up and inviting people on social media. And it's uncomfortable, and I wish I could tell you that it was easier. But I will tell you that I would rather have the pain of change than the pain of staying the same, or worse yet, the pain of regret. right? So how do we navigate through the complete discomfort that change brings in our life? Well, I am gonna teach you my 7 steps because Melanie Mitro loves a good process, right? So let's talk about the 7 steps to embracing change. The first thing that I do when I'm faced with a new challenge is I visualize my success. Tell you a quick story. I first became a BODi partner. All these people were talking about this thing called the Success Club trip. And I was like, what is this trip? How do I earn this? Okay, I help 3 people get started on their fitness journey every single month. I do it for 12 consecutive calendar months and I can earn this trip. All right, I'm in. And the trip is also to Disney. I am definitely in. And so I printed out on the computer a picture of the Magic Kingdom and I taped it to the corner of my computer screen. And then I found a picture of a family walking down Main Street and I made that the screensaver of my phone. And every morning I would sit in my chair and I would do my journal and I would think about achieving that goal. And I would close my eyes and I would picture the boys walking into Disney and meeting the characters for the first time. Their eyes twinkling, their giggles and their smiles. And I would visualize Matt and I hanging out underneath of the castle, watching the boys see the fireworks with that just feeling of contribution, of just success, and a little bit of a, I told you so. And even as I tell you this story, it brings back the emotion. And maybe for you, right now, as you visualize the details of your success, maybe it doesn't give you the warm and fuzzies. And if it doesn't, I want you to take a quick picture of that slide and use these as great prompts to help you get a clear vision for what it is that you want for your life. What is the next vision for your success? And we made it there, and it was amazing, and it was everything that I thought it was gonna be. Now, the next step is anticipating the obstacles. You guys, we would be crazy to think that just because we say, all right, this is the vision that I'm working towards, that we're just gonna effortlessly get ourselves there. There are going to be obstacles along the way. And so your next step is to actually sit down with a notebook and I want you to write it out. I want you to write out what are the things that could come up for me as I am working towards my vision of success. Is it when somebody tells me, no, they don't wanna buy my shake? Is it when somebody leaves a negative comment on my post? Does it make me freeze? Do I get paralyzed? I actually have a partner that said to me, Melanie, I haven't posted in 60 days because of a comment somebody left on my post. I froze. I was paralyzed. We have to begin to anticipate what are the things that could take us out of the game. And when we raise that level of awareness, then we can move on to the next step. So we know what it is that gets us stuck, but why does it get us stuck? What is the root cause? What are we making it mean when somebody leaves a negative comment on our post? Are we making it mean I'm not worthy? If a partner quits your team, are you making it mean that you're not a good leader? You're not cut out for success? And why? When you begin to, in your quiet time, journal out and get to the root cause, now we can make a decision. Because the definition of insanity is literally doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And we're not gonna do that anymore, right? So once we identify it, once we know where it originates, now the work really begins. Because we're gonna do something about it. We're gonna create a new toolbox, a new strategy. I'm a big fan of creating an offensive strategy in your business. We're not working on the defense. We're not gonna react. We're not defending our rank. We're not defending our position, but we're thinking about growth. And the way that we do that is thinking about how we'll respond ahead of time. So for example, one of the things that happens, if it hasn't happened to you yet, it surely will. You will get a message from a partner and it will say, I'm going to take a step back in my business. Have we not gotten those messages before, right? And so instantly I would say, I'm a bad leader. What is wrong with me? I'm not cut out for this. And so I would go into this defensive mode. I'd go live in my team page. I'd make a new checklist. I'd do a new training. I'd schedule one-on-ones. I'd touch base with everybody. And I stopped. And I just said to myself, but Melanie, am I really a bad leader because they said that they wanted to take a step back? And then I would go through the checklist in my mind. Nope, I send a welcome email. They get added to my team page. They're in my accountability group. I check in with them often. If they need help, I'm there to answer them. It is not my job to make them successful. It is my job to empower and support and guide. And I'm doing those things. And so I can release that pressure on myself, and it doesn't take me out of the game. It allows me to go to that person and say, all right, tell me why you want to take a step back. Because maybe they're just having a bad day and we can work around it. Or maybe we do need to create an exit plan, but it's not a reflection of me and the kind of leader that I am. So I want you to do the same with each one of the obstacles that you potentially could face. I want you to create a new strategy so that when those situations come up, we can run through the tool in our toolbox and we can move on and we can keep building our business, and it doesn't keep us from achieving the vision for our life. And the next step, we have our vision, but who do we want to become, you guys? Affirmations, we talk about them a lot. Sometimes affirmations, people say they work. Sometimes people say they don't work. And I'm a firm believer in affirmations. And maybe for you, it is, I am a confident recruiter. I am a Success Club trip qualifier. I am an elite partner. For me, I walked into the bathroom one day and I grabbed the tube of lipstick that was sitting on the sink and I wrote on the bathroom mirror, I am the top BODi partner. And then I freaked out and I erased it off of the bathroom mirror. And I thought to myself, who am I? I'm just some small town girl from Mars, Pennsylvania. I don't have a background in marketing or sales or leadership. How can I be the top coach? And then I was embarrassed. What if somebody sees this? So I got into the shower. But you know what happens when you take a hot shower? You get out of the shower and the entire mirror is fogged up and it is staring back at me. I am the top partner of BODi. So went on my way, but every day, every single day I stepped out of the shower and it's still there. And I said to myself, I want this. It scares me, but I want it. And so I did a really important thing. This is what makes your affirmations work. It's when you say to yourself, all right, how does a top partner act? And I took that affirmation and I said, what are the act as if actions that go with it? And I got out my notebook and I started to make a list of those action steps. A top partner confidently invites people to the business opportunity. A top partner confidently posts on social media that they are building their team. A top partner hosts opportunity calls and they're not afraid to network with other people that they think would make a great fit for their team. And so every day I started to show up and say, if this is who I want to become, then these are the things I need to do. And so as I would, again, sit in my nice little chair in the morning and do my morning routine, I would make sure that those actions found their way onto my time blocker. Because we can spend a lot of our day being busy, but not productive. And so I want to make a challenge to all of you to start saying, okay, if this is who I want to become, are those things embedded in my day? And there were times that I would get to 11:30 at night and I would look back over my day and go, crap, I didn't do any of the things that I needed to do to get me to the person I want to become. And it was a choice. It was a choice to be uncomfortable. It was a choice to do it anyways. It was a choice to say, I'm going to do it tonight before I go to bed, and I'm going to learn from that. I'm not going to do it again tomorrow. And over, I washed, I rinsed, and I repeated that process until I stepped into the top BODi partner, until I stepped into the most confident version of myself. And it never really does get easier. Even standing up here on this stage today, I still want to kind of throw up a little bit. I still get sweaty palms. My heart still races. But it's always in those moments where we step out and we do something courageous that we know we're gonna grow. And every single time I think about the next big step, the next big goal, I think about who I'm gonna become in the process and what is the story I'm gonna be able to tell to somebody else because of my courage. And this actually happened about 3 months ago. This is my son, Bryce. He's 12, and he loves basketball. And he's always been pretty naturally athletic, and he plays on the A team at Mars. He always is a starter, and a couple of months ago, he was invited to be on an AAU basketball team. And the kids were better. He was the new kid. We said, Bryce, you're gonna have to prove yourself. And he was up for the challenge. And so he played, he did well, he didn't start. But there was one particular game, it was a championship game. First half of the game goes by, Bryce doesn't play. Second half of the game goes by, Bryce doesn't play. Overtime, Bryce doesn't play. Double overtime, Bryce doesn't play. We get to the end of the game, and listen, Bryce is wired exactly like me. He doesn't like to lose. He doesn't want to be the worst one on the team. He wants to shine. He wants to be the best of the best. And I knew that what was going to happen once we made it to the car. But he stood there, he collected his medal, stood there for the team picture. We get out to the car, and he whips that bag in the back seat. He throws the medal across the back seat, and he says, that's it. I'm going back to playing on the other team where I get to play, where I don't have to sit the bench. And I said, Bryce, that's not making you better. By you going back to that other team, it's not, you're just surrounding yourself with people that are just like you. There's no competition. He goes, but at least I get to play, Mom. And I said, but Bryce, that's not the point. That's not the point. You need to go to coach and you need to say to coach, hey coach, why didn't I get in the game? You have to have the courage to ask him, what is it that I need to do to make me better? And he goes, I'm not asking the coach. I said, well, going back to the other team, that's not gonna help you get to where you wanna go, whether it's playing in high school or playing in college. I said, and as much as this stinks right now, and as much as this hurts, and I'm sorry, buddy, that you have to go through this, things like this are gonna happen again. And you have a decision. You can stay the same, or you can have the courage to go ask coach, to work on your skills, to get out there and improve so that you can be a starter. And the whole way home, I'm thinking, this is it, he's done. I was definitely catastrophizing a little bit. He's done, he's not playing basketball anymore. But he goes up to his room, comes down about an hour later, grabs the basketball and goes outside, starts shooting hoops, for hours and hours and hours, determined. And I walked out to Bryce and I said, hey buddy, how you feeling? And he goes, you know, Mom, I'm gonna go talk to coach. And I said, oh good. He goes, you know why? And I said, what? And he goes, because you taught me that I can have anything I want in life if I'm willing to work hard for it. You know, sometimes you just don't think your kids are watching, but they are. They're watching your actions, watching how you react to adversity, to obstacles, to change, to discomfort, even when they're little. They're picking it up. People on social media, they're watching you. The friends in your neighborhood, the people in your circle, they're watching you. When you have the courage to stand up and go after your goals and your dreams and you lead the way, you give other people the courage to do the same. And I believe we all need to have a little Bryce in us right now. We need to have the courage to embrace a little discomfort so we can get to the next level. We can make a bigger impact. We can go out there and achieve our goals. And I believe in you, and I know that next year you're gonna come back here and you're gonna tell that story of how you had the courage to embrace discomfort and how it's changed your life. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great evening.
Please welcome CEO Carl.